I'm Natasha Koo, and I'm a senior.
Tiffany Charvet, and I'm a sophomore.
Divya, and I'm in 11th grade, junior.
I'm Mary Frances Garcia, and I'm a freshman.
So today you will be reacting to a class called Women in Relationships. Have you ever heard of this class?
Yes.
Yes, I am taking it now.
Having taken this course already, what did you think of the course from your experience?
I like the course because it's had a lot to do with not really learning about like Jesus, which I mean is fine, but like learning more, looking into yourself and stuff like that. And I thought it was interesting in that aspect.
Definitely educates you on certain aspects that people are generally afraid to talk about, and it makes sure that you know all the information and that you're informed about your decisions.
Well, I like the class too just because you get to learn more about yourself, and also you learn more about the women's side of things.
So here is a course description / learning outcomes.
Okay.
And I want you to read it to me, please.
Women in Relationships is a one-semester course providing an in-depth study of the maturing young adult women.
Students learn about and reflect upon healthy ways to come to a deeper understanding of their maturing roles
In friendship, dating, sexuality, and the role of the whole woman in today's world.
Students also study vocations of the single life, religious life, marriage, motherhood, and in the light of the gospel values and the Catholic tradition.
course outcomes. The student will
Number 1, understand and have some methods of coping with the opportunities, challenges, and developmental tasks facing them in young adulthood.
2. Have a clear understanding of the 4 lifestyle paths: single life, married life, religious life, and ordained ministry.
Examine lifestyle issues in light of the gospel and Christian tradition.
And number 4, examine women's roles and issues in the world today.
So from reading the outcomes and the description, what do you think of the class?
I think it's a really empowering class that will teach me a lot about not just only what I could learn for high school life, but life in the future.
It's like, I guess it's like a good way to so you just like find out who you are.
Do you think this fits the description of women in relationships?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so.
Perfectly.
Okay, so now I'm going to give you a series of words / phrases, and I want you to tell me the first thing that pops into your head. Friends.
People that are close to me.
Great.
Nice.
Friendships? I was gonna say Natasha.
Family.
Love.
Mom.
Love.
Love.
People who care about me.
Brokenness.
A plate.
Pain.
Hurt.
Sadness. Crying.
Mind.
The thing that you think with.
Smart.
Complex.
Body. Brain.
Wounds.
Scars. Healing.
They hurt.
Hurt.
Strength.
Good.
Hercules.
Muscles, I guess.
Awesome.
Body image.
Complicated.
Me.
I think Victoria's Secret models.
Important.
Relationship.
Single.
Good.
Dating. People.
Work.
Adult.
Old.
I want to say adulting.
Scary.
Responsibility.
Sexuality.
Straight.
Okay.
Gender. Female.
There's a lot of them.
Grief.
Bad.
Tragedy.
Sadness. Sadness.
Sad.
Wellness.
Good.
I don't know.
Health. Health.
Important.
And finally, marriage.
Scary.
Together. Happiness.
Work.
So, why did you choose those words?
I did Victoria's Secret model and body image because everyone wants to look like them.
It's like personal experiences.
I said my mom because I think she's a strong woman, and then she's just a strong role model in my mind.
So the words I just threw at you are all words that have to do with the class Women in Relationships. So in this class, juniors learn a lot about women and how women are involved in all of these topics. What do you think about that type of class for juniors? Do you think it's a good age to start talking about these subjects?
I definitely do because you guys are going to be going off to college soon. So you definitely need to know about who you are and who you want to be in the future. And I think this class is really helpful for you guys.
Definitely, because the transition from middle school to high school, I was still trying to transition, but junior year, I'm solid, I'm ready for this stuff, and I need to know that stuff.
So now that you've heard these words/phrases, what do you think all of these words have to do with women?
So I guess with body image, like as women, we're always told you have to be a certain way and you have to look this certain way. And since women in relationships, you have to find like a way that you like your own body image, and seeing that, making sure that the relationships you have, that they support how you like feel about yourself.
And like for strength, and then I said Hercules, you don't really see a woman being really strong.
Okay, so now I'm going to let you read a series of quotes from short stories, and I want you to tell me what you think this person has gone through, and also the age of this person.
It didn't bother me, and it never will.
Compared to him, I was nothing.
However, when we stood together, I stood alone.
And eternity held us together, but the world kept us apart. Only in my mind did that make any sense.
As he walked away that night, I finally was able to comprehend his truth.
The truth will always lie in my eyes, a collection of brown dust memories.
I sat crying. It wasn't what I wanted to hear.
I guess it's just like anytime you're in a relationship, you need a dedication, and if you don't have that bond and you have trust issues and things get hard.
I think that maybe she got out of a relationship that she knew secretly inside wasn't gonna work, but then after he finally left her, she really realized he never really loved her.
This is a quote from a short story called I Wanted to Know His Truth by Jessica Teitelbaum, who is 16 years old. She shows how the pain of being told that love will never happen rivals the heartbreak of knowing it will never happen again. Fantasies never fulfilled ache differently than memories never repeated, but both hurt terribly. What do you think of the description?
At such a young age to be thinking about that already. You should be thinking about friends and stuff, and you're already going through that kind of phase of your life. That's crazy to me.
That's so sad.
So, you just read passages from a book called Ophelia Speaks. Here's the book. Ophelia Speaks is a series of letters and stories written by girls where they tell their hardest times or their life stories. The book talks about such heavy subjects like friends and conflicts and cliques and even a death of a friend. They talk about family, divorce, and siblings, non-traditional families such as homosexual and single parents. They talk about brokenness such as abandonment, abuse/neglect, and substance abuse. They talk about wounds that include suicide, drugs and alcohol, sexual violence. They talk about strength, including prejudice, cultural identity, faith, feminism. They talk about body image, which includes media images, eating disorders, and connections to self-esteem. And they talk about relationships and their crushes, fantasies, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender roles, dating violence, betrayal, first love, and pregnancy. What do you think about a book having really been written about girls and women going through one or more of these topics and having to face them as told in their stories?
I think it's great because we can read these books and we can see that we're not alone in this world. Sometimes we can go through hardships and we feel like nobody else has been through them, but when we read this book, we can see, oh, girls have been through worse, or they've been through similar situations that we go through today, and we can look at them empowered.
It's awesome. I'm really glad it exists because these are real experiences, and sometimes in reality we don't all face them, but you need to be ready for when that happens. And this book, it talks about the personal opinion, it talks about the event, and that it made it real.
It talks about heavy subjects like eating disorder and sexual harassment. We had speakers come in and talk about their stories that connects with the class. What do you think the connection is if a speaker comes in, whereas just the reader just reading it from a book?
think because with a book, it's just a blank slate and you're just kind of reading words. But when somebody's there in front of you telling their story, it seems more real. I mean, these are real, but with someone standing in front of you, it hits you more, I guess. And yeah.
So besides the Ophelia Speaks books and all of these topics that the juniors learn, they learn other stuff in women in relationships, such as sex ed, adult life and planning for the future, and wellness, about personal health, whether it's physical, emotional, and nutritional. What do you think about having these subjects added to the class, besides all the topics talked about in Ophelia?
It's not just one course kind of thing. It's kind of like it gets you like everywhere in like one semester, and like I guess like that's what the course is all about, like finding yourself, and it just helps more. And yeah.
So we actually had freshmen, sophomores, juniors, and seniors react. What do you think their points of view on this class would be?
I think freshmen and sophomores won't really understand this course as much, but if you already took the class, you would understand more from it, and you'll get more out of it after you've taken the class. But if you don't, you just go into it not knowing anything, and you're just going to be really like confused and embarrassed at the same time, because they're going through like sex ed and stuff, and you're just like, I don't know. I think like after you take the class, you become more educated and mature about it than the freshmen and sophomores would be.
Yeah, I think the same thing because like freshmen coming into high school, it's just kind of like assumptions about a lot of things. And then you are embarrassed about some things, even though you shouldn't be exactly, but they're still young, so they don't know exactly how everything happens in the world and that there is like a lot of bad stuff in the world, so yeah.
Because I know that when I first, like before I took the class, I thought women in relationships like strictly dating. Like that's the only relationship I thought of. It's more than just dating. Like we learned so much about it. So when they first thought of it, it's a lot to take in.
That's a pretty important class that should not be taken down.
Well, I think it would be different because some people have taken it and some people haven't taken it. And I don't know. I mean, I haven't been a sophomore, junior, or senior yet, so I think it would be like not exactly as similar to mine, but somewhat similar. Because we're all probably going to go through the same exact things, so.
And you guys all have to take this course.
Yeah, that too.
Ooh, it's something about, just something about.